Do you believe that lack of discipline is just laziness? Seneca discovered something shocking 2,000 years ago. Our mind has 7 hidden mechanisms that automatically sabotage our willpower, and most people feed these destructive behaviors thinking they're being productive. This Stoic knowledge reveals why all your attempts to build discipline have failed so far, and how you can reprogram these mental patterns to build unbreakable self-discipline that lasts a lifetime. Subscribe to the channel, leave your like and comment what part of the world you're watching from, because now I'm going to tell you everything. Have you ever wondered why it feels so hard to stay disciplined, even when you really want to? Maybe you have promised yourself that this time you will change, you will follow your plan, or you will finish your goal. Maybe you have started with hope and motivation. But after a few days or a few weeks, you notice that your energy is less. Tasks you promised to do not get done. You feel upset with yourself. You ask, why can't I just do what I planned? You might think, maybe I am lazy. Maybe I am not strong like other people. Maybe I am just not made for self-discipline. These are thoughts that many people have. But are they true? What if the real reason why self-discipline is difficult is not because you are weak? What if it has nothing to do with being lazy or not trying hard enough? Many people believe that failing to be disciplined is a sign of failure in who they are. They feel shame, frustration, or even guilt. These feelings stop them from trying again. They think, I must not be good enough. But these thoughts are not true. The truth is, self-discipline is much more complicated than just being strong or pushing yourself. There are many things happening inside your mind that affect what you do, how you act, and the choices you make. Self-discipline simply means being able to do what you decided, even when you do not feel like it. It means keeping promises you make to yourself. But most people do not know that keeping promises to yourself is not only about willpower or working hard. There are many habits, thoughts, and feelings that are hidden deep inside your mind. These hidden parts control how easy or how hard it is for you to keep your plans. Many times you do not notice them. These habits are quiet. They do not shout. They do not call for your attention. They simply work in the background, shaping your choices without you knowing. Imagine all the plans you have made before. You may have told yourself, I will wake up early every day. Or, I will finish this project by the end of the month. Or even, I will eat healthier starting from now. At first, you might start with excitement, but slowly, things begin to feel heavy. Sometimes you skip a day or you forget. Other times you feel tired or frustrated. You make excuses. You say, it is only today. Tomorrow I will try again. Days pass. Sometimes you forget the plan completely. You feel bad. You wonder, why does this always happen to me? Thinking that you are just lazy or not strong makes things worse. It can make you feel stuck. But the truth is, self-discipline is not only about force or strength. There are habits running in your mind that you cannot always see. These habits may have been built over many years. Some started when you were a child. Some grew from the people around you, from your family, friends, or school. Some came from small actions you repeated again and again. Over time, these small habits became automatic. They became a part of how you think, feel, and act. Because these habits are hidden, most people do not realize they are there. They only notice when something goes wrong. You promise to change, but you end up back where you started. You promise to finish a goal, but you stop halfway. It feels like you're always fighting against yourself. You may even think, why can other people do this, but I cannot? But those other people have their own hidden struggles too. No one can be perfect all the time. No one is born with unbreakable self-discipline. Everyone faces the same hidden habits that shape their actions. Let's look a little deeper. When you try to follow a plan, you use your mind and your energy. But your mind is not a simple machine. It is full of thoughts, feelings, and patterns that you do not always see. Some of these patterns help you. Some make things harder. For example, your mind likes things that feel easy and safe. It remembers old routines. It tries to keep you away from what feels bad or uncomfortable. But sometimes what feels comfortable is not helpful for your goal. If you want to build a new habit or work on a hard task, your mind might want you to stop because it feels new or difficult. Other times, your mind tricks you with small thoughts or reasons. For example, I will do it later. Right now I am tired. Or, it is just one day, skipping it will not change much. Or, I deserve a reward before I finish. All these thoughts are small ways that your mind protects you from feeling stressed, tired, or worried. They do not seem bad or wrong. In fact, sometimes they feel like smart ideas. But if you always listen to these small thoughts, your big goals never get finished. Some habits are so automatic that you do not notice them. You may reach for your phone without thinking. You may open the fridge when you are not hungry. Or you may decide to clean your room when you really should be studying. Staying busy with small jobs feels easier than working on a big, important task. But over time, these small actions shape who you become. Your brain learns what you do often, and it gets better at repeating those same actions. If you repeat habits that make you avoid hard tasks or delay your plans, your self-discipline will feel weaker. It is important to understand that these habits are not your fault. You did not choose them because you are lazy or do not care. You did not fail because you are not good enough. These habits are natural. Their job is to help you feel safe and comfortable. But if you want to finish your goals and be more disciplined, you must first see these habits for what they are. Only then can you begin to change them one step at a time. Think about a time when you avoided something uncomfortable. Maybe it was a hard conversation, a job you did not like, or a workout that felt difficult. Your mind told you, do something easier. Maybe you listened. Again and again, this habit can become strong. Or maybe you looked for something fun or distracting, like checking messages or watching videos, instead of doing what you promised yourself. Your brain likes quick rewards because quick rewards feel good right now. The habit becomes, if I feel discomfort, I find something that feels better. Other times you make excuses or tell yourself stories to protect yourself from feeling bad. It is not my fault, I just did not have time. Or, next week will be better. Sometimes you wait for a perfect day to begin, but that day never comes. When you add up all these small habits, it is easy to see why reaching your goals feels so hard. The good news is, these habits can be changed. But before they can change, you must understand that being more disciplined is not about being perfect. It is not about working harder or being harsher with yourself. It is about noticing what is truly happening inside your mind. When you can see the small, hidden habits that guide your choices, you have taken the first step. You are starting to learn about yourself. You are giving yourself a fair chance to improve. It helps to use gentle curiosity. When you fail to keep a promise to yourself, do not judge or blame yourself. Instead, ask, what happened really? Was there an excuse I used? Was I avoiding something uncomfortable? Did I look for a quick reward instead of sticking with my plan? These questions help you see the pattern without feeling shame. The more you learn about how your mind works, the easier it becomes to choose a different action next time. Being disciplined does not mean you will never make mistakes. It does not mean you will always be perfect. You are allowed to try again and again. Each time you notice a hidden habit, you have the power to do something different, even if it is a small change. Over time, these small changes build up. Your new habits become stronger than the old ones. You begin to trust yourself more. You stop feeling like discipline is a painful force. Instead, it becomes a quiet power inside you, helping you reach what you truly want. Many people think that if they just tried hard enough, they would finally succeed. But force and willpower can only take you so far. If you do not see the hidden parts of your mind, willpower runs out quickly. It is like trying to swim upstream with a heavy weight tied to your foot. Instead of fighting the water, you can learn to untie the weight. When you remove what secretly holds you back, you find that your journey is much easier. So, how can you begin? The first step is paying attention. Notice what you do and when you do it. Notice what you feel and what thoughts come up when you want to change. If you say, "I will start tomorrow," ask yourself, "Why not today?" If you say, "I cannot do it," ask, "Have I given myself a real chance?" If you want to distract yourself, see if you can gently return to your original task for just 5 minutes. Each moment you notice and choose again, you are changing your habits. You might wonder, is it really possible to change these habits? Yes, it is. It does not always happen in one day or even 1 week, but every small step counts. If you avoid a distraction once, you are building discipline. If you say no to an excuse, you are building discipline. If you start, even when you do not feel ready, you are building discipline. You do not need to be harsh with yourself. You only need to be honest and keep trying, one small step at a time. In the past, a philosopher named Seneca believed that behind weak self-discipline are hidden habits that most people do not see. There are old, quiet forces inside every person's mind. These forces do not look like problems at first. Sometimes they even look like they are helping. But when you look closer, you can see how these hidden habits silently guide your choices. Seneca taught that by noticing and understanding these hidden behaviors, anyone can start to change and become much stronger. You do not have to accept the voice that says you are lazy, weak, or hopeless. You do not have to carry the weight of shame or self-blame. All you need is the willingness to look gently at yourself, to notice the habits that make things hard, and to try, just a little, each day to make new choices. Over time, these new choices will add up. Discipline does not need to feel like a punishment. It can feel like freedom because it means you are in charge of your actions, not your old habits. Whenever you feel stuck or discouraged, remember this: self-discipline is not a special gift that some people have and others do not. It is a skill. Like all skills, it grows when you practice. It grows when you pay attention. It grows every time you choose better, no matter how small the step. Every person is capable of building discipline, no matter where they start. It is not about being perfect. It is about being willing to see the truth and to keep trying, even if progress feels slow. By understanding the real story of self-discipline, the habits, the feelings, and the thoughts behind your actions, you can begin your own journey. You are not alone. The challenges are real, but the power to change is already inside you. All you need to do is start noticing what happens in your mind and in your daily choices. Bit by bit, each new habit you build becomes a building block for something much stronger and more lasting. Over time, you will see that what once felt impossible has become possible, then normal, then easy. The path to self-discipline starts by seeing what is hidden. And by seeing what is hidden, you begin to grow. Most of the time, people do not notice the small actions or thoughts that make self-discipline difficult. These habits and behaviors are quiet, and they hide in your daily routine. They are hard to find because they do not look like problems. Sometimes they even seem like they might be helping you, but over time they make it much harder to keep your promises and reach your goals. Imagine waking up in the morning and making a plan to do something important. You might tell yourself, "Today I will finish my homework," or "I will eat healthy food," or "I will not waste time." You may feel clear and ready. As the day goes by, you notice that you skip the important work, or you choose something easier. You tell yourself it is not a big deal, but later you feel regret. These actions do not happen by accident. They are the result of hidden behaviors inside your mind that quietly shape what you choose. One way these hidden behaviors show up is by making you avoid doing things that do not feel comfortable. Your mind wants to protect you from feeling bad, so it finds ways to keep you at ease. If a task looks boring or hard or confusing, your mind might guide you to do something else instead. You may not even realize that you are escaping the hard task because your mind is very good at making it look normal. There are also moments when you want something that feels good right away. You might want to check your phone, watch a video, or eat a snack, even when you know there is something more important to do. The reason is that your mind likes quick rewards. These small rewards feel good and they are fast, but they do not help you finish big goals. You might think you are just taking a break, but if you always choose what feels good in the moment, you miss out on what is most important in the long run. Sometimes, when you do not feel like working, you tell yourself a story to make it okay to quit. You might say, "I will do it tomorrow," or "This is too hard for me." These excuses sound true when you hear them in your mind. It is easy to believe them because they give you a reason to stop and feel better about it. But if you always listen to these stories, it becomes very hard to change anything in your life. Other times, you wait for the best moment to start. You might say, "I will begin when I am less tired," or "I will start after the weekend," or "When I have more time, I will work on my goal." The perfect time rarely arrives. Each day that you wait, you miss a small chance to move forward. The habit of always waiting can become strong, and it steals your time and your energy. Another hidden behavior is keeping busy with things that do not matter much. You might fill your day with little tasks or small jobs that feel easy. You may stay busy for hours, but you never get to the big things that matter most. It may look like you are working hard, but at the end of the day, you are not any closer to your dream. This distraction hides the real work from you and gives you a false sense of progress. There are also times when you are afraid to make a mistake. You worry, "If I try, I might get it wrong." Fear of error makes you stop before you even start. You might think you are not good enough, or you doubt yourself so much that you cannot begin. This worry becomes a habit, and you start to avoid risks. You think that other people are braver or smarter, but in truth, everyone feels fear sometimes. The difference is that some people have learned to move forward even when they feel afraid. Comfort also has a strong pull. You may repeat old routines and habits simply because they are familiar. Even if these habits are not helpful, your mind likes to stay with what it knows. This is called staying in your comfort zone. Every day that you do the same actions, you miss the chance to learn and grow. Change can feel scary, but doing even one small thing in a new way can open the door for progress. All these hidden behaviors have something in common. They do not announce themselves. They blend in with your normal thinking. It is very easy to miss them, which is why so many people feel stuck with weak self-discipline year after year. You may work hard, make plans, and try new routines, but if you do not see these silent habits, your progress will always feel slow. When you do not reach your goals, you might think that you are the problem. But the truth is that these hidden habits are the real reason why discipline feels hard. It is helpful to remember that none of these behaviors mean that you are lazy or that you lack value. They are simply automatic responses that your mind has learned over a lifetime. Their job is to save you from pain, stress, or feeling bad. Most of these habits started long ago, maybe when you were very young. Some came from watching others around you, family, friends, teachers. Some came from doing things a certain way in school or at work. Over time, they became your normal way to respond. When you see someone else who seems very disciplined, you might think they never struggle. But even they have habits that get in the way. The difference is that they may have learned to notice their hidden behaviors and do something different. You cannot change these habits by ignoring them. You can only change them by paying attention and learning about yourself. Start by watching how you react when you face something hard. Do you find yourself thinking of excuses? Do you wait for a better time to start? Do you choose something fun instead of working on your goal? Do you doubt your abilities or fear making errors? Do you stay inside your comfort zone, repeating the same old actions? The first step is to notice what you do, without blame. Pay attention to the words you say to yourself. These might be simple sentences like, "Not now, maybe later," or "I am not good at this." Each of these thoughts is a clue. Over many days, write down what you notice. You might start to see a pattern. You may notice that you escape tasks whenever they feel boring. Or perhaps you look for something enjoyable when a job feels big. Try to catch yourself in those moments and ask, what is really happening right now? It is normal to feel uncomfortable when you see these patterns for the first time. You might feel angry or sad. You may wish these habits would disappear overnight. But remember, change takes patience. There is nothing wrong with you for having these habits. Every person you know also faces the same hidden behaviors. This is part of being human. If you carefully notice these habits, you can try small experiments to respond differently. Next time you feel the urge to do something quickly rewarding, try to pause for a short while and return to your real task. If you catch yourself making an excuse, see if you can do just a little part of the job instead of waiting. If you notice yourself filling time with small tasks, stop and ask, what is truly important right now? Every small change adds up. Self-discipline grows stronger slowly. It is not about being perfect. It is about learning your own patterns and gently changing them. Instead of pushing yourself, allow yourself to make mistakes and keep coming back to your real goal. When you see your hidden habits, you can choose to act in a new way. You might have days when you fall into old patterns. You might give in to excuses or comfort. This is not failure. It is part of the process. Each time you notice what happened, you become a little stronger. If you make even one better choice, you are already building your discipline. The hidden behaviors will not always be easy to see. Sometimes you will spot them quickly. Other times, it might be days or weeks before you notice. That is normal. What matters most is that you keep trying, keep looking, and keep being honest with yourself. With practice, you will find that it gets easier to notice when you are escaping, making excuses, or looking for comfort. A key idea is to treat yourself with kindness. Blaming yourself or feeling shame will only make the hidden habits stronger. Allow mistakes to happen. Forgive yourself and move forward. Talk to yourself as you would talk to a friend. Say, I noticed this habit. That is okay. I will try again. As these hidden behaviors become clearer, you will start to see choices you did not see before. You will catch yourself before making an excuse. You will notice when you are distracting yourself. You will realize that you can do something different, even if just for a minute. Sometimes you may only have the strength to change a small step. That is enough. Every small win gives you more confidence. With time, the strong pull of the hidden behaviors weakens. You will notice that you are able to start tasks more easily. You will stop waiting for perfect days. You will be less afraid to make errors. You will be able to sit with discomfort for longer and focus on important jobs. Your comfort zone will feel less important, and new actions will feel less scary. If you look back after a month or two, you may be surprised at your progress. You will see that you no longer believe the old stories your mind used to tell. You will not rely on excuses as much. You will spend more time on what matters and less time escaping or delaying. Your discipline will feel steady and real. Others may notice that you are more reliable or that you finish what you start. Even with these changes, some days will still be hard. The hidden behaviors never truly disappear, but you will have the skills to handle them. You will have learned to catch them and respond wisely. You will no longer be controlled by old routines, but will be able to choose what you want to do. It helps to remind yourself why you started on this path. Your goals are important, not just for others, but for yourself. Each step brings you closer to becoming the person you want to be. You do not have to be perfect or always strong. You just have to try, one moment at a time. Another helpful idea is to talk to others who are working on discipline. Share your struggles and your small wins. When you hear their stories, you will see that everyone faces the same challenges. You are not alone. You are not broken. The more you learn about yourself, the more power you have to change. Encourage each other. Remind each other to focus on what matters. Remember, discipline is built in small moments. Notice the next time you want to escape work for something easy. See if you can return to your plan for just a few more minutes. Notice when your mind creates an excuse. See if you can act anyway, just for today. Even if the change is very small, it counts. Small changes become habits, and habits become your new way of living. The way to stronger discipline is not about force or strength. It is about seeing what is hidden and choosing to act a little differently each time. Each step is a step toward your true goals. Each new action helps you become more of the person you want to be. As these hidden behaviors lose their hold, you will discover new energy for your biggest dreams. By staying kind to yourself, being honest about your habits, and taking small steps each day, you will find that what once felt impossible becomes something you can do. This is how self-discipline grows, quietly, day after day, choice after choice. The path is open to everyone. Your progress may be slow sometimes or fast at other times, but every step matters. The more you notice your hidden habits, the more freedom you will have to choose your actions. Day by day, you will move closer to your real goals with steadier confidence and growing discipline. There are moments when you begin to understand your small habits and you try to change them. You may notice that some actions are easier to change while others feel difficult. One of the strongest habits that holds people back is the habit of avoiding anything that makes them uncomfortable. This behavior can guide many parts of your day without you even knowing why it happens. When something feels hard, boring, or uncertain, the mind often finds a way to escape. It does not matter what your goal is. You might want to study, practice a new skill, exercise, clean your space, or finish a project at your job. Even when you know these things are good for you, the feeling of discomfort can be strong. Your body might feel tired. You may feel worried about failing. You could feel bored because you do not enjoy the task. These feelings are normal, but your mind wants to protect you from anything that feels unpleasant. If you listen to this urge every time, your plans will always be pushed back. You might say, "I am too tired right now," or "This is too much for me to handle." These are thoughts that help avoid discomfort. You may sit down to work, but then remember something else you should do instead. Suddenly, doing your task feels even harder. Your mind offers an easy escape. You could check your messages, have a snack, or just rest for a while. You might wonder why you feel this way. Avoiding discomfort is something that helped humans through many years. Long ago, people needed to stay safe from harm. Hard jobs or dangerous events made the mind and body feel bad, so people learned to listen to those feelings and avoid them. But now, daily life is not the same. When you avoid a difficult task, there is no danger, but your mind still reacts as if something bad could happen. It tells you to stop and look for comfort. Most people confuse this urge for comfort with their true desire. Often, when you quit or delay, you do not think, "I am escaping discomfort." Instead, you just feel a strong pull to do something else. You believe you need rest, or you tell yourself the job is impossible. Some people have practiced this behavior so often that it has become invisible. Instead of facing a challenge, you turn away before you even notice what you are doing. But if you want to make real progress, it is important to see when you are escaping. Notice how you feel just before you decide to stop a task. Maybe your muscles are tense. Maybe you feel bored. Maybe you think, I do not want to do this right now. Try to be curious for a moment instead of acting right away. Ask yourself, am I running from discomfort right now, or do I really need a break? If you see that you are avoiding something hard, do not judge yourself. This does not make you weak or lazy. Remember that the habit was learned over many years. You do not have to fight the feeling. You only need to be aware. Instead of escaping as soon as you feel discomfort, try to wait for a short moment. Take 3 breaths. Give yourself a chance to feel the discomfort without reacting at once. Over time, if you practice sitting with discomfort for a little bit each day, you become stronger. You may start with just 1 minute. You can tell yourself, I will do this work for 1 more minute, even if I do not like it. When the minute is finished, see if you are able to do a second minute. If it feels too much, that is okay. Stop for a while, then try again later. Each small step helps you learn that discomfort is not something dangerous. It is simply a feeling that comes and goes. Some people think that only the beginning of a task feels hard, but discomfort can appear at any time. Sometimes you feel it when you are halfway through a job. Other times, you might feel it every time you see your goal. The important thing is to keep practicing. Every time you notice discomfort but keep going, even for a short while, you are building your discipline. It is also helpful to remember your reasons for doing the task. If you only think about the discomfort, the job will seem very big. Think about your purpose. Are you studying because you want to learn something new? Are you exercising because you want to be healthier? Remembering your reasons helps you move forward, even when you do not like how it feels. You can also use simple words with yourself when you feel uncomfortable. You might say, I can do hard things, or this feeling will pass, or I only need to do a little right now. These small reminders teach your mind a new habit. Instead of running from every bad feeling, you learn to face it for a moment. Sometimes other people make discomfort harder. Maybe someone asks for your help when you are trying to focus, or maybe people around you complain about the same task you need to do. You might feel extra stress because of their words or actions. This is also normal. It is not always possible to control what others say or do, but you can choose to notice your feelings and still continue. If you are interrupted, try to return to your task as soon as you can. Do not punish yourself if you have to stop. Each time you go back to your plan, you are making discipline stronger. There are also days when discomfort feels too big. Your body might feel tired. Your thoughts might be heavy. On those days, it is good to be gentle with yourself. Maybe you cannot finish the full task, but you can do one small part. Doing something, even a little, is better than giving up. No one feels strong every day. You do not have to force yourself to feel happy. You just return to your goal as best as you can. When you see yourself avoid discomfort in one area of life, check if you do it elsewhere too. Maybe you avoid hard talks with your family. Maybe you stay away from trying new things because they feel strange or risky. It is common to want to stay safe and comfortable. The goal is not to get rid of comfort, but to notice when it keeps you from growing. Many people think they must wait for motivation before starting something hard. But motivation is not always there. You do not need to feel ready. You only need to begin, even if you do not feel good. Often, action will bring motivation later. If you start the job, even for a short time, you will find it becomes easier to continue. It helps to set simple rules for yourself. You might decide, when I feel like escaping, I will try to stay for 1 more minute. Or, each morning, I will start my task before I check my phone. Simple actions, done again and again, become new habits over time. You do not need to make every change at once. Pick one place where you want to be stronger and work on that for now. Write down your challenges. Notice when discomfort makes you want to run away. Record the thoughts you have when you want to quit. Later, look at what you wrote. You will see patterns. You might notice that you always avoid work when you feel tired, or that you escape when a project looks too big. Knowing your patterns helps you plan for next time. You can also celebrate your small wins. If you face discomfort and keep going, even just for a minute, be proud of yourself. Tell yourself, "Today I tried something hard." This reminds your mind that you are able to handle more than you think. Feeling discomfort is not a sign to stop. It is a signal that you are doing something new or important. Every person who creates change faces moments that feel hard. What matters is not the feeling itself, but what you do next. When you choose to move through discomfort, you build strength inside. This strength will help you in every area of life. There will always be times when escaping feels easier. Some days, old habits will come back. That is part of learning. You do not need to be perfect. If you make a mistake, you can return to your goal the next time. Each day is a chance to try again. Over many days, you will notice that discomfort loses some of its power. You will feel able to start tasks more quickly. You will stop waiting for everything to be easy. You will find that you can sit with hard feelings and keep working. Life will always have new challenges, but each old fear you face makes you braver. You may also start to notice when other people talk about their own discomfort. Sometimes a friend will say, "I do not want to do this," or "It is too hard." You can use what you have learned to help them too. You can listen, share your ideas, and remind them that everyone feels this way sometimes. When people work together, facing hard things feels less lonely. Learning to handle discomfort is one of the biggest steps in building self-discipline. This new skill will help you everywhere. If you can do something hard in one area, it will be easier in another. Each day that you practice brings you more confidence. If you want to make things even easier, you can create small rewards for yourself after you finish a hard job. The reward should come after the work, not before. This teaches your mind that facing discomfort brings something positive. You might allow yourself a rest, time with a friend, or your favorite meal after the work is done. The goal is not to avoid discomfort, but to remind yourself that effort has value. Sometimes your goals may need to change. If a task is always painful and never feels right, you can ask yourself if it is truly important to you. Not all discomfort is useful. If a job feels wrong for many days, talk to someone you trust. It is okay to change your plan if it is not leading you where you want to go. Most of the time, avoiding discomfort comes from a habit, not from true danger. The mind and body just want to protect you. By practicing simple steps every day, you can teach yourself a new way. You will learn that you can feel uncomfortable and still be safe. Remember to rest when you need it. Rest is not the same as escaping. Rest is planned and healthy. Escaping is when you leave a task just because a feeling is difficult. Learn to tell the difference. Give yourself rest after effort, not instead of it. Notice the times of day when discomfort feels strongest. For some people, it is early in the morning. Others feel it in the afternoon or at the end of the day. Try doing your hardest job at the time when you have the most energy. Do the easy tasks later. Small changes in when you do things can help you build stronger habits. Talk kindly to yourself, even when you make mistakes. Challenging discomfort is a skill that grows. Each time you face it, you make that skill stronger. Each mistake is only one moment in a long journey. You are learning and improving, step by step. Over weeks and months, you will see that you can do more than you thought possible. You will find that old habits do not control you as much. You will discover that you are able to start, continue, and finish even the things you once thought were too hard. This is the strength that comes from being willing to feel uncomfortable and keep going anyway. As your self-discipline grows, you will see progress in your goals. You will find more energy and more time for the things that matter most to you. Difficult feelings will come and go, but they will no longer decide your actions. You will have the power to choose what you do, no matter how you feel in the moment. There will always be more to learn. Each new challenge is a chance to practice again. Each day brings you closer to the habits and the life you want to build. Trust in your small steps and give yourself credit for trying. The path to stronger discipline passes through many moments of discomfort, and each one makes you stronger for the next step you take. Sometimes, even when you learn to deal with discomfort, other habits inside your mind can still pull you away from your goals without you noticing. One strong habit is the desire for quick rewards. Everyone faces situations where an easy pleasure seems more interesting than a bigger, important goal. This is a quiet force that can shape your day, your plans, and your results, even when you work hard to be disciplined. When you wake up in the morning, you might have a plan to work on something important, but as the hours pass, you may feel a pull to do things that bring joy or relief right away. For example, you might want to check your messages, watch something short and funny, eat a sweet snack, or scroll through pictures. These activities feel good in the moment. They are quick and simple. They do not ask for effort or patience. They give you a small burst of happiness or a break from thinking too hard. Your mind is trained to enjoy rewards that come without waiting. Long ago, quick pleasures helped people survive by giving them energy or safety. Now, there are many fast rewards everywhere, on your phone, on your plate, or even in small distractions at home or at work. If you are used to picking these easy options, it can feel harder to focus on your real tasks. The mind remembers the feeling of fast rewards and looks for them again and again. You may promise yourself, "I will not lose focus today." But as the day goes on, your hand moves to your phone or your mind wants a break. You tell yourself, "Just for a minute, just to relax." The minute easily grows. You may realize much later that your main task is still undone. You feel frustration and sometimes even guilt. The cycle repeats because the short, happy feeling is strong and easy, while your goal takes more time and work. It is important to see how these small, quick pleasures can steal your attention from what you care about. Each time you choose a fast reward, your mind learns to expect it. Your ability to wait for something bigger becomes weaker. Over time, the mind believes that an easy, small joy is better than waiting for something larger and more valuable. This is how discipline fades in daily life. You can start paying attention to these moments. Notice what you choose when you are tired or bored. Do you reach for quick fun? Do you walk away from your work because a simple entertainment is calling? Do you look for comfort in food, games, or checking updates? The questions are simple, but the answers are important. Quick rewards do not seem like a problem at first. Often people tell themselves, "I deserve a treat," or "breaks are good for me." Both of these ideas can be healthy, but only when the reward comes after you finish your real work. If you choose the easy pleasure before you complete your task, it can turn into a habit that keeps you far from your goals. Some days, you may find that the pull of quick rewards is stronger, especially when a task feels boring or endless. You might start working, and after only a short time, you look for a way out. Small distractions are easy to find all around you. Technology makes this even easier, with sounds, lights, and new updates to get your attention. But the more you follow this pattern, the harder it becomes to feel happy with bigger goals. Projects that need days, weeks, or months start to feel too slow. Healthy habits, like reading, learning, or building your skills, can feel heavy because real results do not show up right away. Your mind says, "Why wait, when you can feel good right now?" This is the hidden voice that pulls you away from patience and discipline. Some people feel embarrassed that they cannot control the urge for quick fun. they think something must be wrong with them. But this is a normal part of how the mind works. It is not a sign of failure or weakness, it is a learned pattern. As you practice noticing it, you can start to change how you react. To build stronger discipline, try to pause before choosing a quick reward. When you have the urge to do something easy and fun but unimportant, stop for just a short time. Ask yourself if you have finished your real work first. You do not need to fight every urge. Sometimes you can allow yourself a small reward, but make it come after you do even a small part of your main goal. This practice is called delaying gratification. It means waiting and choosing the bigger good over the small, quick one. At first, delaying rewards is hard. Your mind will keep asking for a break or a happy escape. As you practice, it will become easier. You will notice that you feel more pride and satisfaction when you finish your work and then enjoy something fun. If you catch yourself slipping into a quick reward, do not be harsh with yourself. Gently bring your attention back to your work. You do not need to be perfect or punish yourself for small distractions. Every time you return to your goal, you are building a new pattern in your mind. Over many days, these new choices will help you want focus more than escape. Some people find it useful to create small rules around quick pleasures. For example, you might decide, I will only check my messages after I finish writing one page, or I will enjoy my snack after I study for 15 minutes. The rules should be clear, simple, and possible for you to keep. If you break your own rule, do not give up. Try again at the next chance. Each time you succeed, it will feel less difficult the next time. It can also help to change your space. Remove distractions when you start your main task. Keep your phone in another room, close apps or websites that steal your time, or turn off notifications until you finish your work. Simple changes to your environment make it easier for your mind to stay on what matters most. You may be surprised at how quickly your focus improves. Sometimes it is possible to turn big projects into smaller parts. If you are working towards something long-term, divide it into short steps. Each time you finish a step, give yourself a reward. This method helps your mind connect effort to positive feeling, but does not make you wait forever for satisfaction. Little by little, you teach yourself to finish work before looking for rest or pleasure. If you notice that you always pick quick rewards, even when you know they are not helpful, it may help to ask what you are really feeling. Are you tired? Are you bored? Are you worried you cannot finish the task? Sometimes escaping into small pleasures is not about the reward. It is about avoiding an uncomfortable feeling. If you discover this is true, go back to your goal and do just a small part, even if it is not perfect. With practice, you become better at facing discomfort and staying patient. For some people, past habits with easy pleasures are built over many years. The process of changing these habits is not fast. It takes gentle effort and repetition. Do not expect yourself to have perfect focus right away. Give yourself praise for each small improvement. Notice when you choose to finish a task before looking for fun, and remember how that felt. There are also special tricks to help you handle the pull of quick rewards. You can ask a friend or family member to check in with you. Tell them about your goal and ask them to ask you how you did at the end of the day. You might also use a planner to track your days and notice patterns. When you see that you have stayed true to your plan for a few days, celebrate the progress with a nice but simple reward. Another useful idea is to change how you think about pleasure itself. Try to find ways to enjoy your main tasks. Look for moments of interest or learning while you work. If you find any small part pleasant or meaningful, give attention to that feeling. It does not mean every part will be fun, but small pleasures in your real work can make it easier to wait for bigger rewards. In some cases, too many options for quick rewards make choice difficult. If you are always surrounded by easy escapes, it becomes hard to concentrate. Try to reduce the number of options. Choose a quiet place to work, or put limits on how long you can use certain devices or apps. When you make your environment simple, you give your mind more space to stay on track. You may also become bored with your main goal if the only thing you do is work. It is important to add moments of planned rest and fun to your week, but let these come after you complete your important actions. The mind needs time for both effort and play. By creating balance, you avoid feeling too restricted and make it easier to avoid surprise escapes into easy pleasures. People who practice these habits find that their patience and focus grow stronger over time. The urge for fast rewards does not leave forever, but it loses its power. You will find that you are able to stay with a task for longer, even when your mind tries to pull you away. You will see that you can take breaks and enjoy fun only after your real work is done. There could be days when old habits return. You may feel tired, bored, or sad and want a quick escape. These moments are normal and part of the learning process. Remind yourself of your bigger idea, the reason you started your goal. Remember that each time you choose focus over easy pleasure, you are moving closer to the person you want to be. If you are working in a group or with other people, you might notice when they also reach for fast rewards. Talk with each other about your distractions and support each other's plans to focus. When people share goals and encouragement, it can help everyone in the group to stay on track. Sometimes you might feel like giving up because delaying rewards feels hard for many days in a row. It is normal to wish for an easier path. Whenever you feel hopeless or tired, slow down and make your goals smaller for that day. Even a short moment of true focus counts as progress. Remember that no one is able to avoid every distraction. You do not have to feel ashamed if you slip. Life is full of things that want your attention. The important thing is not to give up, but to return to your main goal each time you stray. Each comeback is a victory. The more you watch your habits and notice your actions, the more control you gain. Your mind becomes better at knowing what matters. You will notice that you are able to choose a bigger reward later instead of a small pleasure right now. Your goals become real because you build them one step at a time, patiently, with care. If you keep this practice, in a few weeks you may see that you stay away from quick escapes more often, even when no one is looking. You feel proud of yourself, not just for finishing tasks, but for being able to wait and choose what really matters to you. When you have learned to be patient for your rewards, you create space for true growth. Your choices become stronger, your goals become closer, and your discipline starts to feel more natural. Each day that you practice, the habit of escaping into easy fun becomes weaker. Your time and your energy are now used for your dreams, not lost in fast and empty distractions. As you continue with these steps, new challenges may appear. Your mind may create new ways to seek comfort or excuses, but you have built the skills to notice what is happening. You have learned how to pause, how to wait, and how to focus, even when it is not simple. This steady practice opens the way for even bigger changes in your habits and your life. When you begin to wait for true rewards and learn how to focus on important tasks instead of escaping into easy pleasures, you will still notice other patterns inside your mind. For many people, another quiet but powerful habit is making excuses or giving reasons to avoid difficult things. This way of thinking can quietly control your actions without you realizing it, and it can happen many times each day. Excuses begin as small thoughts. They offer simple reasons to not do something you need to do. You might wake up and tell yourself, "Today I feel too tired." You might look at a big job and think, "It will take too long, I do not have enough time right now." Or maybe you have promised to exercise, but tell yourself, "I will start tomorrow." Excuses feel true because they come from your thoughts and feelings. They are simple but convincing. Most people make excuses to protect themselves from discomfort, fear, or worry. The excuse gives you a way out, so you do not have to feel bad for skipping a task or changing your plan. The mind quickly learns to use excuses for many situations. You might be at home and think, I am too busy. At work, you might say, someone else should handle this. When you want to save money but feel tempted to spend, you might say, I deserve this one time. When you want to eat right but reach for junk food, you might hear a voice say, today can be a special day. These small stories pile up over many days and weeks. They become the normal answer when you do not want to face something that feels hard or important. Most excuses seem harmless or ordinary, but if you pay attention, you will notice they appear again and again right before you choose to skip a hard job, avoid your promise, or turn away from your goal. Over time, believing and accepting these excuses weakens your discipline. You might start to think you cannot change, or that you're simply not made for difficult things. Excuses begin as tiny, quiet thoughts, but if you repeat them, they slowly shape your daily actions and control your long-term results. To build stronger discipline, you need to see excuses for what they really are. They are habits of thinking, not true limits. Most of the time, an excuse is not an unbreakable fact. For example, when you think, I am too tired, it might be true that you do not feel full of energy, but you can still do part of your task. When you say, it is too late to start, there is often still time for a small step. The mind uses excuses because they are easy, not because they are always correct. Start by noticing your favorite or most common excuses. Listen carefully to your inner voice, especially when you are about to do something you do not want to do. Write down the words you hear in your head or say them out loud. When you see them in front of you, it is easier to recognize a pattern. Your list might include things like, I can do it later. This does not matter so much. I am too busy. No one will notice. Or, today is not a good day. Notice which ones you use the most and in what situations they show up. When you notice an excuse, pause for a moment and ask yourself, is this a true reason or is it just a habit? Try to answer honestly, without being angry or harsh. Many times, you will see that the excuse is just a story your mind is telling because it wants you to feel better right now. Sometimes, you will realize that doing the job is possible, even if you do not feel like it. On some days, you might make excuses to avoid a task when you are tired or upset. On other days, excuses come when you feel afraid you might fail. You may also use excuses when you are afraid of what someone else will think about you. These are all common situations. Do not judge yourself for having these thoughts. Remember that every person faces these habits. Learning to see and understand your excuses does not make you weak. It makes you honest and ready for change. When an excuse appears, you can respond by gently questioning it. For example, if you think, I will do this tomorrow, you can ask, why not try just a little now? If you hear, I am too tired to start, you can say, maybe I can do a short part today. If the excuse is, it is not important, you can ask, will this help me in the future if I do it now? These small questions break the power of excuses, making it easier to act. It can also help to plan for the excuses you know you use most. If you always say, I do not have time, look for a 5-minute place in your day to work on your goal. If you often say, I will do it later, set a specific moment to start, such as after lunch or before you rest in the evening. Planning makes it harder for excuses to control your choices because you have clear steps and times to follow. Sometimes you will catch yourself making an excuse after you have already skipped a task. At those times, you might feel guilty or frustrated. It is important not to be angry at yourself. Notice what happened, write it down, and decide to try again. Each time you notice an excuse and act differently, even in a small way, you become stronger. It is also helpful to change the words you use when talking to yourself. Instead of saying, I cannot do this, You might try, "I will see how much I can do." Change, "I do not have time," to "I will spend a few minutes working on it." If you say, "I am too tired," try, "I will start and see if I get more energy." Sometimes taking the first step gives you the energy or desire to continue. Some excuses hide behind actions that look useful. You might suddenly feel an urge to clean your room, answer emails, or work on something easy instead of starting the real job. These actions make you feel busy, but they are often ways to avoid what is hard or important. When you notice this, pause and ask yourself what job or plan you might be avoiding. Try to start that job before returning to the easy task. Another way to break the excuse habit is by sharing your goal with someone else. If you tell a friend or family member about what you want to do, they can gently remind you when you start making excuses. Sometimes just knowing that someone cares about your progress is enough to help you act, even when you do not feel like it. You can also create a reward for yourself when you act without giving in to excuses. This reward does not have to be big. You might give yourself 5 minutes to relax, listen to music, or enjoy a treat. The reward works best when it comes after you act, not before. The mind will slowly learn that action brings good feelings, making it easier not to listen to excuses the next time. Many people believe that stopping excuses means they will never feel lazy or tired again. This is not true. Everyone feels lazy or tired sometimes. The difference is that people with strong discipline notice their excuses and do what they can anyway, even if it is a very small effort. Sometimes your excuses come from deeper feelings, such as fear of failing or fear of looking foolish. You may worry about what others will think if you do something wrong. In these moments, it can help to remember that mistakes are a normal part of growth. No one is perfect, and every mistake is part of learning. If you make a mistake, tell yourself it is okay and begin again. On days when excuses feel very strong, try using a timer. Tell yourself, "I will work for 5 minutes, then stop if I need to." Most people find that once they start, it is easier to keep going. Even if you only work for 5 minutes, you have broken the excuse habit, and your discipline has grown a little more. Create an environment that makes it easy to act and hard to give in to excuses. Place your tools close by, prepare your space, and remove distractions. If you plan to exercise, lay out your clothes early. If you need to study, put your books where you can see them. Small changes in your space remove reasons to delay or avoid your plan. Keep track of your good days. Notice when you acted despite an excuse and write it down. Reading this list later will help you remember you are able to break old habits. Look for patterns in your good days. What helped you act? Was it a time of day, a habit, or a friendly reminder? Use what works again and again. If you find yourself making the same excuses in many areas of your life, focus on just one area at first. Choose a small task that matters to you. Practice noticing and breaking the excuse habit for that task. As you succeed, your ability will grow, and you can use your new skill in other parts of your life. Support from others can be very useful. Join a group or find a friend who also wants to build discipline. Set goals together and check on each other's progress. Share your successes and failures honestly. Encouragement and support can help you see excuses more clearly and keep going when the habit feels strong. Sometimes, routines help to limit excuses. Decide to do a task at the same time each day, no matter how you feel. After a while, you will do the task automatically without stopping to create a reason to avoid it. Routines make discipline easier because they give your mind less time to make up excuses. When you feel the urge to make an excuse, picture what will happen if you listen to it. Will you feel proud or frustrated? Will you get closer to your goal or stay in the same place? Seeing the result of your choice can help you decide what to do. If you slip back into old habits and listen to excuses, be gentle with yourself. Change is slow and takes time. Each morning is a new chance to try again, no matter what happened yesterday. Discipline is not about being perfect, but about choosing to start again and again. It is also important to look at the words you say to others. Sometimes you give excuses to people around you because you do not want to disappoint them or yourself. Try to be honest about your actions, even when it is hard. Saying, "I did not do this because I was tired," is more helpful than blaming your situation or other people. Honesty helps you see your habits and change them. Every excuse you break adds to your discipline. Each small action taken when you do not feel like it creates strength inside you. Even if you only do a tiny part today, it is a step in the right direction. One day, you will look back and see that you rarely make the same excuses. At times, you may need rest and real breaks. Listen to your body and give it care when it needs it. Know the difference between real limits and habits of excuse. If you are very tired or sick, rest without guilt. If you simply do not feel like acting, try a small step anyway. The more honest you are, the easier it becomes to recognize true needs. As you work on your excuse habit, you may notice that other hidden habits start to appear. For example, sometimes you wait for the perfect time to start a job or project. You might tell yourself, "I will begin when life is less busy," or "I am waiting for just the right moment." This is a new way that your mind delays action and protects you from discomfort. It is another hidden behavior that stops you from building the life you want. Learning to act without waiting for perfect conditions is a part of strong discipline. You can start by doing what you can, where you are, with what you have. Most important changes begin before you feel ready. Small efforts in imperfect moments often matter more than big plans that never begin. Every time you act, even when it is not perfect, you build trust in yourself and move closer to your goals. Each honest step helps you break old habits and make self-discipline part of your daily life. Many times, you imagine that there should be a perfect moment or perfect set of conditions before you start something important. This belief is very common, and it feels safe. It tells you to wait until things get easier, or until you feel more ready, or until you have more time, tools, or energy. Your mind can come up with many reasons to wait. Sometimes it is about having the right mood. Sometimes it is about waiting for a busy season to finish. Sometimes you believe that you will start your goal on a special day, such as the first of the month, or after a holiday. In everyday life, this habit appears in many ways. You might look at your tasks and tell yourself that today you are too tired and tomorrow will be better. You might look at your workspace and say it is too noisy or messy now, so you will start when everything is quiet and organized. Sometimes you want to begin a personal goal, but you wait for an event to pass. Maybe you say, "I will start eating healthy after my birthday," or "I will learn this skill after I finish this project at work." These thoughts make you feel like you are planning carefully. But what is really happening is that you are avoiding starting. If you wait for a perfect time, you often find that it never really comes. Life is always busy with unexpected things. You will never have a day that fits all your wishes for comfort, energy, silence, and time. If you do wait for the right moment, you may find yourself waiting for many days, or even weeks or months. This habit keeps your goals forever in the future instead of letting you act in the present. When you pay close attention, you can see that the idea of perfect timing is another way your mind helps you escape discomfort or fear. You might be afraid of making a mistake. You might be worried that you will not do the job perfectly on your first try. You might think that you need to gather more information or wait for better conditions. All these ideas help protect your feelings and your comfort, but they keep you from moving forward. You can notice this habit by the words you say to yourself. You may hear, "Now is not a good time." You may say, "I will begin next week." You may plan, "I just need to fix this one thing first." Pay attention for these words in your thoughts and speech. Once you notice these patterns, you can start to ask if they are really true. You can try a simple test. Look at the task you have been putting off. Ask yourself if you really need something to change before you begin, or if you can start with what you have now. Often, you will see that there is no real reason to wait. Maybe you do not have every tool or every piece of information, but you can do the part that is possible today. You can many times do a small part, even when everything is not in place. Once you see that perfect conditions are not required, you gain freedom to begin. You may feel some discomfort, or you may feel that your work is not as good as you hoped, but you are making progress. Action is always better than waiting for the ideal day to arrive. Each small act teaches your mind that it is possible to move forward, no matter what is happening around you. If you notice you are delaying because of this habit, try to lower the size of your first step. You do not need to do the whole job at once. Begin with something tiny and clear. If you want to learn a new language, start by learning one new word. If you want to exercise, spend 5 minutes stretching. If you want to clean your home, pick up one item. A small step is always possible, even on days that feel busy or hard. You may be surprised how good it feels to begin, even if things are not perfect. After you start, your mind often discovers new energy or motivation. You build belief in yourself every time you act instead of wait. Each action, no matter how small, breaks the habit of waiting. Over time, it becomes normal to start, no matter what the day is like. Sometimes you will hear other people say they are waiting for the perfect moment. Friends may say, "I will do it when I have more time." Family may say, "Next month is better for starting." It is easy to believe them because it feels safe, but if you look closely, you will see that the people who reach their goals most often are those who take small actions, even on imperfect days. This habit can also show itself in your planning. You might spend a lot of time thinking about what to do, making lists, or preparing, instead of actually doing the first step. Planning is helpful, and it can make your work smoother, but at some point planning becomes a way to avoid the risks of acting. If you always prepare but never begin, your desire for perfect conditions is holding you back. When you recognize this, give yourself permission to plan for a short time, then start with whatever you have. Even a small or messy action moves you from waiting to working. Remind yourself that it is normal to feel nervous and that mistakes help you learn. You do not need to have everything ready before you take action. You may also find that your mind wants to wait because you worry about criticism or judgment. You might fear that others will see your work and think it is not good. This fear grows when you wait for perfect timing, because the pressure goes up with each day you delay. When you act, even in a small way, the worry often goes away, or it becomes easier to handle. If you track your progress on a calendar or a notebook, mark the day you started. Do not wait for a new week or a special day. The best time to make progress is always now. At the end of a month, you will see many days where you made small starts. Each mark is proof that you can overcome waiting and build real discipline. Support from friends or a group can help with this habit. You can tell others, "I am working on starting now, not waiting." Ask them to encourage you or remind you to begin, even on busy days. Hearing from others who face the same challenge can remind you that it is a shared human habit, not just your own problem. If you often find yourself saying, "I will begin after I finish my other responsibilities," think about how long you have already waited. Sometimes you may have put off a goal for many months, telling yourself that life is too busy or difficult. But if you look back, you might see that there was not any long stretch of peace or open time. Life will always have many tasks. It is important to fit small parts of your goal into your regular day, even if your other work is not finished. On some days you will truly be too tired or too busy, and that is normal. Real rest is important. But not every day will be like this. Many days you can do a small part, even if it is less than you hoped. These small parts build up over weeks to create bigger change. You may also notice that you put off important goals by filling your day with small, less important jobs. You may tell yourself that cleaning or answering messages is important before you can begin. Sometimes, these actions are really ways to delay facing your main task. Notice when this happens and ask yourself if those small tasks really need to come first, or if you can work on your big goal even with a little mess or unfinished business around you. If you keep waiting, your mind can become used to not acting. Waiting feels like safety, but it can become a habit that lasts for years. Breaking this pattern does not mean being hard on yourself. It means gently catching yourself when you wait and deciding to try one small action right now in your real situation. You will find that acting brings more energy than waiting. Even if your first step is not perfect, it is a real step. Each one brings you new ideas and practice. It is better to have many small imperfect actions than one perfect plan that never begins. Encourage yourself by noticing when you act in an imperfect moment. Remember that most success is built on ordinary days, not special ones. Each day you do a little, your mind learns that it is possible. You can also reward yourself for starting before you feel ready. When you notice that you have acted, even though life was busy or messy, take a moment to feel proud. You may want to tell a friend, write it down, or simply remind yourself that you did something hard. If your goal is large, find a way to break it into the smallest step possible. For example, if you wish to write a book one day, start by writing a single paragraph. If you want to run a long distance, put on your shoes and walk around your home. Each small movement gets you going. When the voice inside says, "Wait for a better day," you can answer, "Today is good enough." You do not have to say yes to every thought about waiting. With practice, you will notice that you can start almost any goal right now, even when it is not easy or comfortable. Make use of reminders. Write a note where you can see it that says, "Start now," or "Small steps count." You can set a daily alarm to remind you that today is always a good day for your goal. These tools help you practice action instead of more waiting. If you stop for a while, or if your old habit returns, be gentle and begin again as soon as you can. Do not wait for a new season, a new month, or for motivation to return. Simply take a tiny action, and then another one. It does not matter if you have stopped before. What matters is that today you try again. Acting in imperfect times will build your confidence. You will realize that most jobs are possible to begin, even when life feels busy or messy. Each day that you practice, the habit of waiting will become weaker, and your skill of acting will become stronger. You may find that as you start doing things now, you have to deal with other hidden habits. For example, you might notice that you distract yourself from important work by staying busy with easy jobs or things that do not help you reach your goal. This is another way the mind escapes what feels large or hard. Doing small, easy jobs as a way of escaping the real goal is a common pattern. It can feel like you are being productive, but in truth, you are taking attention away from what matters. You are replacing real steps forward with actions that feel safer or simpler. Learning to act now and not wait will help you notice when you are using busyness as an escape from your real task. As soon as you see this habit, you can choose to pause and return your attention to what matters. Each time you choose the important action over the easy action, your willpower grows. Step by step, you become a person who takes action without waiting for perfect conditions. This is what builds lasting discipline. You trust yourself to start even when life is not perfect, and you recognize the signs of waiting before they stop you. Over time, your goals become real and your progress is steady. The small acts you do each day add up to big changes, not because the days are perfect, but because you are willing to act without waiting. Often, when you begin to act without waiting for everything to be perfect, you will notice another habit that sneaks into your day. This is the habit of busying yourself with unimportant tasks, or getting distracted by small things that are not related to your real goal. You might find yourself working all day, feeling tired by the end, but realizing you did not do what was most important to you. Distraction is everywhere in the world now. You have many devices, screens, messages, and notifications calling for your attention. Even when you decide to focus on a big goal, it can be easy for your mind to grab onto the nearest simple task or a quick activity. You might open your phone to check one thing, but minutes later find yourself looking at something you did not plan to see. Sometimes you start cleaning your desk, looking for snacks, or talking to friends as a way to escape from your main task. These small distractions do not look like problems at first. They feel like normal breaks or productive little jobs. It may seem good to answer messages, organize your workspace, help someone with a small request, or check social media just for a minute. Nay, but when you use up your time and energy on things that do not really help your main goal, you begin to feel stuck. You finish the day busy but not satisfied. The mind is always looking for comfort or quick results. Unimportant tasks deliver these feelings. They are easier than big goals and often take no emotional risk. For a short time, finishing a simple job feels like a success, but you are left with your bigger goal untouched, waiting for your real attention. You can spot this habit in your routine if you often say things like, "At least I did something today," or "I was busy, but I am not sure what I finished." You might realize at the end of the week that your true priorities were not completed. All of your effort went to things that seemed urgent or easy at the time. This habit of distraction is normal because your mind likes safe and simple tasks. It is important to be honest about which actions actually move you closer to your goal. Some people create long to-do lists and start with the easiest item rather than the most important. Others feel uncomfortable starting a big or new project. So pick something small to avoid the hard feelings. Each time you pick a less important task, you delay your progress. Being busy is not the same as being productive. Only a few actions really matter each day for most of your major goals. These are usually the things you find hardest to start or that you think the most about. The urgent little tasks often come from outside, other people's requests, your phone, small jobs that could wait, or just the habit of filling time. The first step is learning to notice when you are using small jobs to avoid your real work. This is not about blaming yourself. It is about observing the truth of your habits. When you sit down to start, ask yourself, what is the one thing I truly need to focus on today? If you catch yourself opening an email, cleaning, or starting an easy job before your main goal, pause and gently remind yourself of what really matters. It can help to write down your true priorities in a place you can see. Choose 1 or 2 important tasks for each day. Make it clear to yourself what is most valuable and what can wait. This helps your mind stay on track. Seeing your main goal written down will direct your focus when distractions show up. Before you begin work, take a moment to check your environment. Look for things that might distract you. Open apps, your phone within reach, tabs on your computer, or any objects that can pull your attention away. Move them out of sight if possible. You can silence notifications and let people around you know that you need a set amount of time without interruptions. Another helpful action is to plan your breaks. Tell yourself when you will take a small rest and what you will do for a few minutes to relax. Knowing a break is coming can make it easier to focus on important work without getting lost in random distractions. When your mind starts to wander, do not be upset. This is natural. Just notice when you drift and gently bring yourself back to the main task. You might say to yourself, I notice I am distracted. Now I will return to what matters. Over time, this gently returning becomes easier and your focus grows. Daily reflection helps too. At the end of each day, ask yourself, did I move forward on my real goal today? If not, look for patterns. Were there moments when you chose unimportant tasks? Were there distractions that happened often? The answers show you where to make small changes next time. Try starting your day with your hardest or most important task. When energy is higher, you are more able to focus. Even if you only spend a short time on your real goal, do it before anything else. This trains your mind to handle important work first and leaves easier tasks for later when focus is lower. If a big job feels impossible, break it into very small steps. Set a timer for a short time and tell yourself you will only work until the timer rings. When the time is up, you can choose to keep going or take a break. Often, starting is the hardest part, but after beginning, your mind will want to finish. It sometimes helps to track distractions by writing them down. Keep a small notebook or use a simple app. Each time you start a small task instead of your main one, write it down. Seeing your distractions written makes them more real. It helps you notice patterns and catch yourself sooner the next day. Some people find it useful to create rules about their most common distractions. For example, you might not check your messages or emails until lunchtime, or only visit certain websites for a little time each day. These simple rules help keep your mind clear when you are working. It is also important to forgive yourself on days when you spend too much time on unimportant tasks. Everyone has these days. Stress, tiredness, or emotion can make your mind seek comfort in simple activities. Instead of feeling upset, focus on how you can gently adjust for tomorrow. Change comes from noticing and returning, not from anger. If you work with others, explain what your main focus will be for a time. Ask them not to disturb you unless something is truly urgent. Many people will understand. When you finish your main work, you can spend time helping others or doing easy tasks. Remember that not all small tasks are distractions. Some are necessary, and some can help you feel calm. The difference is whether you are using these tasks to avoid your main goal or as a planned part of your day. The key is being honest with yourself. Children and adults both face the temptation of distractions. If you are helping others build discipline, talk about this habit openly. Share that it is normal and give examples of how you handle distractions yourself. Young people often learn best by seeing grown-ups practice what they say. Rewards can help when you finish your important goal before doing easier jobs. Tell yourself, "When I finish this, I will enjoy some time for fun," or "After I finish, I will do something relaxing." Connecting effort to a reward makes it less likely that you will drift away in the middle of working. Sometimes, staying focused can feel lonely or difficult, especially if most people around you are doing easy things. You might see friends playing games, chatting, or watching videos while you are working on a big goal. Remember your reason for doing this work. Imagine how you will feel when it is finished. Remind yourself that a short effort now creates more freedom later. If busyness seems to take over your week often, set aside certain days or hours only for your biggest priorities. Even 1 hour without distractions can make a big difference over the weeks. Protect this time as much as you can. Let family or friends know so they can help you keep this promise. You may find some distractions are harder to avoid than others. For some people, these are certain websites, games, or apps. For others, it might be news, chatting, or even cleaning. Give yourself simple limits or use tools that block you from these actions for a while. This is not about being strict, but about helping your mind learn new ways to use time. Think about how it feels when you finish your most important job for the day. Notice how you feel inside and remember this feeling. If you find yourself drifting during another task, recall your good feeling from before. Sometimes, reminding yourself of your success is enough to change your action. If you often forget your main goal during the day, set reminders. You can use notes, alarms, or calendar notifications. Put a message on your desk or workspace that says, "Focus on what matters." When you see it, stop and ask, Am I doing my biggest task or just something easy? When you create a list of things to do, keep it short. Write only one or two main tasks. When you see a long list, it can feel easier to pick from the small jobs. When the list has only the most important actions, it is harder for your mind to hide in easy work. Support from friends, family, or co-workers can be helpful. Share your main focus for the day and ask one person to check in with you. A simple, "Did you do your big task?" helps you stay on track. It will take time to change the habit of choosing distractions or unimportant work. Every day you try is progress. Every time you notice and return your focus, discipline grows. The change happens step by step without needing to be perfect. On days when your mind feels too scattered, forgive yourself and begin again. Even one small piece of real work is better than none. Do not measure your worth by how much you get done. Focus on real progress, not endless activity. As you gain skill at focusing on important work and refusing distractions, your self-discipline will become stronger and stronger. Over weeks and months, your goals will come closer, and finishing them will become more normal. You will still have to be careful. The mind will always find new ways to sneak in easy jobs, temptations, or other people's requests. But your power is in noticing and gently choosing your own path. When you create new habits that help you start important tasks, stay with them and finish them. You begin to discover the power of real choice. You no longer need to fill your days with busyness to feel good. You learn to use your time well, feel truly satisfied with your effort, and move steadily forward on your main dreams. At the same time, you may notice that sometimes you finish your important jobs, but still hold back on certain goals or dreams because you doubt yourself. You might wonder if you are good enough or fear making mistakes. These thoughts can quietly stop you from even starting something new. Facing these habits of fear and self-doubt is the next step in growing even stronger, kinder self-discipline for your life. When you find yourself moving forward with your main goals and spending less time on distractions, you may see another challenge appear inside your mind. This challenge is the fear of making mistakes and the feeling that maybe you are not able to do something as well as others. These feelings of doubt and worry can stop you from even trying, or they might cause you to give up quickly when things become hard. Many people around the world feel fear when they start something new or important. It can happen when you begin a new job, study for a test, want to learn a skill, or try to change a habit. You may start to think, "What if I make a mistake?" Or, "What if I am not good enough?" These thoughts are very powerful. They can make your chest feel heavy. Sometimes they even stop you from taking the first small step. Fear of mistakes is a natural feeling. Everyone feels it. As a small child, you probably made many mistakes when you learned to walk, speak, or write. If you look back, you can see that every person learns by trying, failing, and then trying again. But as people grow, they often begin to worry more about what others think. They may remember past mistakes that were painful or embarrassing. The fear grows stronger. Soon, when it is time to start something, your mind remembers this feeling and wants to protect you by suggesting, "Do not even try." You might notice this most when you are close to starting something that matters to you. Instead of beginning, your mind fills with what-if questions. You imagine all kinds of outcomes. You might think, "What if I cannot do it?" Or, "What if people laugh at me?" The feelings come with shaky hands, nervous stomach, or even a wish to just walk away. These reactions are normal. They are your mind's way of keeping you safe from pain or shame. Sometimes, the fear of making mistakes makes you wait forever to start. You might believe you need more learning, more practice, or more planning before you can begin. But no plan is ever perfect, and no one starts as an expert. Waiting will not make the fear disappear. It often only grows stronger with time. Self-doubt is another hidden behavior that can live in your thoughts. This is the voice inside that says, I cannot do hard things, or I am not as smart as other people, or I failed before, so I will fail again. Self-doubt is not always loud. Sometimes it is a quiet feeling that makes you hold back or choose safe, easy tasks. If your life is full of doubt and fear of mistakes, you may find that you do not take chances. You might always choose the safe road, avoid new experiences, and limit your own growth. You can spend years staying in one place, not because you cannot move forward, but because you believe you cannot. The honest truth is that nobody knows what they can do until they try, fail, and try again. It is important to notice when you are stopped by fear or doubt. You can do this by listening to your inner voice. Next time you want to act but feel frozen, ask yourself what you are afraid will happen. Write it down if it helps. Maybe you are afraid of looking foolish. Maybe you are scared to disappoint others. Maybe you worry too much about small details. When you give the feeling a name, it becomes less powerful. Remember that every person you have admired, every expert, every teacher or leader started by not knowing. Mistakes are normal. They are part of learning. Most lessons that last come from failing and trying again. If you avoid trying only because of fear, you close the door to all the good things you could learn and experience. You can practice facing your fears one small step at a time. Think of a new task or challenge you have been waiting to try. Instead of doing the whole thing, just do the smallest step. For example, if you are afraid to speak in public, start by talking to one person. If you are afraid to write one short note for yourself. After you finish the small step, stop and notice that you are safe. Your fear may feel smaller each time. If you make a mistake, remember it is part of life. Ask yourself, what did I learn? And how can I improve a little next time? Treat yourself the way you would treat a young child, kindly, with patience. Say, it is okay to fail. I am learning. Over time, you teach your mind to see mistakes as something normal, not something to avoid at all cost. Self-doubt often grows from memories of past failures. Sometimes you remember one event again and again. This memory grows bigger in your mind until you think, this is who I am. But you are not only your mistakes. You have also made good choices, finished small tasks, shown kindness, and learned many things. Try to remember a time when you did something new and it worked, even if it was small. Let yourself feel proud of every effort. You can gently answer your self-doubt with true facts. Make a list of things you have already learned or finished. Your list can have anything: a hard subject at school, helping a friend, fixing something at home, or learning to cook a meal. Look at your list when doubt tries to stop you. Remind yourself, I have succeeded before. I can try again. If you compare yourself to others, you may always feel smaller. It is easy to see only the best parts of others, while you know all the mistakes and worries inside yourself. Remember that everyone you see also has fears, doubts, and mistakes. They have just learned to keep going, even when they do not feel perfect or ready. Your path is your own. You do not have to match anyone else. It is useful to share your fears with people you trust. Talk with a friend, family member, or teacher about something you want to do but are afraid to try. Often, the other person will share their own stories of failure or doubt. This can make you feel less alone, and you may find courage in their examples. Support from others makes your fear feel smaller and your hope greater. Setting realistic expectations can also help. Tell yourself that it is normal to try, make mistakes, and learn slowly. No one does everything right all the time. Allow yourself to be a beginner. Allow yourself to learn in small pieces. If you try and do not get things right, praise yourself for the effort anyway. Some people avoid chances because their fear of looking bad is very strong. If this happens to you, Remember that most people are thinking about their own lives, not about your actions. You are important, but your mistakes are not as big to others as they feel to you. With kind eyes, you will see that even big errors become small with time and experience. Try new things by making them as safe and small as you can. If you wish to play music but fear being bad at first, play alone in your room. If you want to paint but are worried about results, use simple tools and cheap paper. The goal is only to start, not to impress anyone. As you practice, your skill will improve naturally. Give yourself permission to feel afraid. Courage is not the same as not feeling fear. Courage means acting even when fear is there. Each action, even tiny, makes you braver for the next step. With many steps, the fear will not control you anymore. Tracking your growth helps too. Write down your tries, failures, and lessons learned. When you look back after many weeks, you will see real progress. Notice how much your fear has become smaller. Notice also the skills or confidence you have gained. Most change happens slowly, and you will only see it when you look back over time. Practicing kindness to yourself should become your daily habit. When you speak, use gentle words. If you make a mistake, say, "That was not perfect, but I am learning." If you fail, remember that the only real failure is giving up. When you notice doubt, answer it with possibility. Maybe I will improve next time. Try not to build your self-worth on never making errors. Your value is not measured by one test or decision. It grows through honesty, effort, and the courage to try again and again. If others laugh or criticize, practice listening only to advice that helps you grow, not to words that make you smaller. Support others who are also afraid of trying. Encourage your friends or family when they are unsure. When you help another person, it reminds you that everyone feels weak or lost sometimes. Community and kindness make you stronger. If you notice that your fear sometimes turns into waiting for the perfect time or looking for quick distractions, pause and ask if fear is hiding under those old habits. Your mind can use many tricks to avoid discomfort, and fear is often at the center. Seeing this clearly is a sign of real learning. Practice using a simple breathing technique when you feel sharp fear. Take a slow breath in, hold it, then breathe slowly out. Repeat this a few times. This calms your body and lets your thinking brain return. You will feel more ready to try, even if fear is still there. Remember, every new skill or challenge will feel hard at first. This feeling is normal for everyone. Do not try to remove fear completely, but learn to carry it with you as you act. If you practice this idea every day, fear becomes a smaller voice, not a strong stop sign. There will be some attempts you make that do not end the way you want. Try to see the good in what you learned or the practice you gained. Remind yourself that most improvement is slow and often invisible from day to day. If you succeed at something you once feared, pause to celebrate. Notice how you handled your fear and still moved forward. Thank yourself for this brave act. Use this feeling to try another small step in a new goal. Your discipline is not only about finishing tasks without distraction or excuses. True discipline is also the willingness to continue even when you feel doubt, fear, or shame. It is the practice of beginning, staying with, and finishing your work, even when you are not sure of yourself. By facing your fear of mistakes and learning to doubt yourself less, you open up your life to more new things, more experience, and more growth. You start to trust your own process. You learn that you can always adjust, always improve, and always try again, no matter what happens. As this becomes easier, you may notice another habit, holding on to old routines, or staying in what feels safe, even when it no longer helps you grow. At some point, you will see that comfort zones and old patterns can keep you from finding new happiness or success. Recognizing when to step out is the next important change to make your discipline truly strong and lifelong. After you start to notice your fears and doubts, and you learn to keep moving even when you do not feel ready, you might begin to see another quiet pattern shaping your actions. This pattern is the strong pull of comfort zones and old habits. These are the things you do because they feel safe and easy, even if they do not really help you grow or reach your goals anymore. Comfort zones might seem harmless at first. They are made up of routines and choices that feel familiar. You eat the same food, visit the same places, spend your time in similar ways, and talk to the same people. These habits might have served you well in the past. Perhaps they once protected you from stress or gave you stability when life was uncertain. With time, though, you may notice that you keep repeating them, not because you choose them freely, but because stepping outside feels strange or even frightening. Sometimes, comfort zones appear in simple daily actions. You might always take the same way home. You might go to sleep or wake up at a certain time, not because it is best, but just because it is what you have always done. You might watch the same shows, use your free time in the same way, or avoid meeting new people or learning new things even if you wish for change. Often, these actions make you feel calm. There is relief in repeating what you know. But comfort zones can quietly make your life feel smaller. They can close the door to new experiences. If you only act from comfort, you may never try a new food, take up a new interest, or seek out a new job. Your daily life can start to feel predictable and dull. You might want more excitement or learning, but you still follow your old path, even if it is no longer working for you. Old habits are another part of this hidden pattern. These are the behaviors you repeat without thinking, simply because you have always done them. Sometimes these habits help you. They keep life simple and free your mind for bigger problems. But some old habits can keep you from growing. You may realize that you always react in the same way to stress, disappointment, or boredom. You might eat, watch a screen, or avoid talking about your feelings because it is what you have practiced for many years. To notice your comfort zone, start by watching for places where you say, "That is just how I am," or "That is what I always do." Listen for the moments when you find yourself acting without really deciding. Notice how you feel when life asks you to do something new. Do you feel tense, rushed, or closed off? Do you come up with reasons to say no to a new idea even before thinking about it? Stepping outside your comfort zone nearly always feels uncomfortable at first. Your mind and body might react with worry, shortness of breath, or the urge to run away. This does not mean you are weak or doing something wrong. It means you have found a place of growth. Change begins where comfort ends. Sometimes, people stay in their comfort zones because of old fears or lessons learned in the past. Maybe you tried something when you were younger, and it did not go as planned. Now you tell yourself, "I will not try that again." Or maybe people once made you feel that risks were dangerous, so you learned to avoid them. These feelings stay in your mind and quietly guide your choices. However, growth only happens when you try something you have not done before. All new skills, friendships, jobs, and dreams live beyond what you have already practiced. If you want life to feel different, to be more exciting, more meaningful, or more successful, you will need to leave some habits behind. If you are unsure where your comfort zone is, look for places where you feel stuck. Think about how you spend your days. Are there dreams you keep putting off? Are there skills or tasks you admire in others but do not try yourself? Do you say, "I could never do that," even when part of you wants to give it a try? These are signs of walls built by comfort and habit. Start with small steps. You do not have to leave all your routines behind in one day. Instead, pick one simple thing you can change. You might eat a new breakfast, talk to someone you have not spoken to before, or take another route to your daily activities. These tiny changes remind your brain that new things are possible. Each time you try something different, you build a little more trust in yourself. Staying in comfort might also mean you repeat habits, even if you know they do not serve you anymore. Perhaps you smoke, snack too often, watch hours of videos, or say yes to things you do not want to do. Every time you notice yourself repeating an old habit, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this helping me become who I want to be? Does this habit open or close doors for me? With every question and honest answer, you begin to make room for change. Sometimes you will realize you want to keep a routine because it truly supports you. Other times, you will see it is time to let it go. You can thank your old habit for what it provided in the past and then choose a new path. Trying new things is not always easy. It is normal to make mistakes, feel embarrassed, or wish you had stayed safe. The important thing is to notice these feelings and keep going anyway, even in a small way. Each time you do something different, you weaken the power of comfort zones. You also gather new experiences to learn from, and this helps you feel proud and alive. You may find that after you change one thing, you want to change something else. This builds momentum. When you see that the world does not end and that you can handle new situations, your confidence grows. You can use this confidence to handle bigger challenges. Support from people close to you can help a lot. Tell a trusted friend or family member you want to try something new. Ask for encouragement or share your small wins. When someone cheers for you, even a little, the new action can feel safer. Sometimes others may not understand why you want change. They might say, "Why don't you just keep doing what you always do?" Remember, your life is yours. Your comfort zone is not their limit. Listen and thank them for their care, but trust your own desire to grow. Recognize that your culture, your family, or your personal history can shape what feels normal or safe. It sometimes takes courage to do something different from the people around you. Be gentle with yourself if it feels strange or lonely at first. As you keep stepping forward, new people and experiences will meet you. If you notice anxiety or doubt creeping in, use your breath to help calm yourself. Take a slow, deep breath and say, "I am safe. I can try." Remind yourself that one step outside your comfort zone today will make tomorrow's change easier. Reward yourself after you try something new. You might write it down in a notebook or tell a supportive friend. Notice what you enjoyed or learned, not just the outcome, but the fact that you acted. This helps your mind connect challenge with good feelings, instead of only with fear. Over time, you will see that your comfort zone is not a fixed wall. It grows and changes with every new experience. By choosing different actions, even on a small scale, you start to see the possibility of a more open life. Remember, you do not have to fill every day with big changes. Even one small choice outside your usual pattern can be important. Life becomes richer when you collect many different experiences and skills. Each new step teaches you something about yourself and the world. When a new experience feels too big, break it down into smaller parts. If you want to learn a new sport but feel afraid, watch a video first or try by yourself before joining a group. If you want to speak another language, start with a few words at home, then practice with a friend. Every small attempt counts. Sometimes you will return to your old habits for comfort, especially during stress or after a failure. This is normal. The mind often looks for safety when it feels pain. Do not judge yourself. Know that you can always try again the next day. Change feels easy some days and hard on others. If you slip into old routines, remind yourself why you wanted change. Picture the new skills, friendships, or successes you hope to gain. Let your goals encourage you through the discomfort of growth. Support other people as they step outside of their comfort zones too. When you see someone try something new, give them kind words. "You did a good job," or "That was brave." Your encouragement might be what they need to keep growing. Find role models who live with openness to new experiences. Watch how they speak, listen, and handle challenge. You will notice that most successful or happy people have stories of leaving comfort and learning from new actions. Their examples show what is possible for you too. Notice what happens inside when you succeed at something outside your comfort zone. Maybe your heart feels light, you smile, or you sleep better. Let yourself enjoy that good feeling. You earned it. Over many days, as you collect new experiences, your world will feel wider. You give yourself more choices and a stronger sense of power. You begin to believe that you can handle what comes, even if it is unfamiliar. If you ever feel lost or unsure, return to a simple practice. Ask, what is a different small action I can try today? Take that step, then rest and repeat when you are ready. As comfort zones get bigger, old habits lose their control over your daily life. You notice more energy, more interest, and sometimes new happiness. You trust yourself to adapt when routines must change. You become flexible, curious, and open. There will still be some routines you wish to keep. If a habit serves you well, it is not a problem. The key is choosing your routines, not letting them choose you. When you act by choice and not by habit, you live with greater self-respect and freedom. The real power of leaving your comfort zone is that you discover more of what life has to offer. You learn, you meet new people, and you find parts of yourself that you did not know before. This helps you build a life that is truly yours. By watching your comfort zones and habits and gently inviting yourself to try new things, you become strong in discipline, flexible in your choices, and peaceful in change. With every step forward, you will be ready to start shaping a life where real, lasting self-discipline grows, not from fear or habit, but from true understanding and kind action. As you become more aware of your comfort zones and begin to act with more freedom and choice, you will see that real change in self-discipline is a slow, gentle process made up of many small steps. Changing hidden behaviors does not mean forcing or punishing yourself. It is about being honest and kind while you notice the habits that hold you back and begin shifting them, little by little, each day. All the habits that you have learned about: avoiding discomfort, running after quick rewards, making excuses, waiting for perfect moments, getting lost in distractions, doubting your power, and repeating old routines, are not signs of failure. They are part of how your mind and body try to protect you. They are automatic, but the good news is that with patience and attention, they can be changed. Start with gentle awareness. Each morning or at any quiet time, sit for a moment and listen to your thoughts. Are there worries about the day? Are you feeling nervous about starting something new? Do you already have ideas for why you might not finish, or plans for how to make things more comfortable for yourself? Notice these patterns, but do not judge or blame yourself. Just notice. When a habit appears, such as the urge to escape a hard task, pause and give yourself a short moment to breathe. Instead of doing what you always do, ask, what is really happening? Am I looking for comfort, or am I doing what I truly want? This moment of attention is the opening for new action. You do not need to make every change at once. In fact, trying to change everything at the same time will probably make you feel tired or frustrated. Pick one hidden behavior to notice. If you often avoid discomfort, watch when you start to feel uneasy, and gently encourage yourself to sit with the feeling for just 1 minute longer than usual. If you see that you make excuses, write them down as soon as you notice them. Soon, you will see patterns and become able to answer yourself with truth and kindness. Make small steps part of your daily life. If you decide to face a hard task every day, even for 5 minutes, you are already building new discipline. If you wait and do nothing because it feels too big, nothing will change. The size of the step does not matter. What matters is that your mind is learning a new path. Real self-discipline comes from choosing, again and again, the thing that you want most, not the thing that is easiest, fastest, or most comfortable. At first, it may not feel natural. Old habits will try to pull you back. Some days, you will slip, and that is all right. Growth happens over weeks, months, and even years. Patience is the key. Give yourself permission to do things slowly. If you make a mistake, forgive yourself. Tell yourself that you are learning and that every effort matters, even the small ones. Do not wait for a perfect day or for all of your bad habits to disappear. Start with one better choice, and let that be enough for now. It is helpful to have reminders of your goals. Put a piece of paper in your room or on your phone with simple words such as "I can choose" or "small steps matter." When you see these reminders, take a moment to check if you are acting from habit or from real choice. As you pay more attention, you will notice that not all days look the same. Some days you will feel stronger, more focused, and proud. On other days, old habits seem to return with full force. This is normal. Do not let one bad day make you feel like nothing has changed. The path is never a straight line. Every time you return to your goal, you build strength. Support can make these changes easier. Find a friend or family member who will listen without judgment. Share your small successes and your hard days. If you hear that someone else has the same struggles, you will feel less alone. Encouragement and gentle accountability from another person can help you keep trying, even when you do not feel like it. You can also support others by sharing what you have learned. When you see a friend making excuses or feeling afraid to try, be kind and understanding. Sometimes just knowing that mistakes and slow growth are normal can help another person trust themselves. Notice the habits that are helping you, as well as the ones that have held you back. Look for patterns in your better days. What helped you start a difficult job? What gave you energy when you felt tired? When did you feel proud of doing something new? Use your own stories to build your confidence. Each success, no matter how small, is proof that change is possible. Forgive yourself for the days when you return to old habits. There is no reason for shame. The brain loves safety and routine. With every gentle return to your new path, you teach the brain that it is safe to change. Each return also makes it easier the next time. If you want to make a big change, break it into parts. Set a goal for the week or month, and then each day write just one action that brings you closer to that goal. Maybe you want to learn a language, start a new job, become healthier, or spend time with your family. Write these wishes down and each day do just one thing for your goal. Celebrate every step. If you faced a fear, paused before escaping to comfort, started something before you felt ready, or did not give in to an excuse, notice and honor the effort. Say something simple to yourself like, "I did it," or "That was hard and I tried." These small recognitions teach your mind that effort is valuable. Allow imperfection at all times. If you expect yourself to change perfectly, you will be disappointed. Slow and steady growth creates lasting discipline, not perfect days or giant leaps. Accept mistakes as a normal part of every new path. Rest is important for growth. Give your body and mind time to recover. If you had a stressful week, take a walk, breathe deeply, or spend quiet time alone. These moments of calm make it easier to act with discipline the next day. As time goes on, you will see that the hidden habits that once controlled you become weaker. You will start to act from choice, not just from old routines. Tasks that once felt impossible start to become easier. New habits feel more normal, and old ones slowly fade into the background. Keep reviewing your habits. Every month, take time to think about where you started and where you are now. Notice if you have begun escaping less, making fewer excuses, or trying new things. If you have, give yourself quiet thanks. If some old habits are still strong, choose one to work on in the days ahead. Trust in the process of change. You do not need to see big results overnight. Every small shift is a real and important victory. Discipline is like a tree that grows slowly, with roots building deep under the ground where you cannot see them. Use curiosity instead of judgment. When you notice an unwanted habit, ask, "Why did I do that? What was I feeling? What can I try differently next time?" The more you understand your reasons, the more power you have to change. Practice kindness towards yourself every day. Speak gently, "I am growing. I can change. I am learning." These words keep you strong when old doubts or fears show up. You may notice new hidden habits as you grow. Sometimes when one habit is weakened, the mind creates another. This is part of being human. Stay aware, honest, and gentle with whatever comes up. If you face a big setback, slow down and rest. Remember, no one goes forward all the time. When you are ready, start with a new small action. Each time you stand up again, self-discipline becomes stronger inside you. Your journey is unique to you. You may learn quickly in one area and slowly in another. Do not compare yourself to others. Each person's mind, history, and habits are different. All progress matters. Teach these ideas to children, friends, or co-workers if you can. The sooner people learn to notice hidden habits and act from choice, the more easily they will build a good life. Be open to finding joy in your new habits. Sometimes, what starts as hard work soon becomes a source of pleasure or pride. Celebrate when you notice that you want to choose good habits instead of feeling forced to keep them. If you have a setback, remind yourself of all you have already changed. Nobody removes their old habits in one day or one try. Each moment that you notice, forgive, and try again, you give yourself a gift. Look for small daily joys. Pay attention to the feelings of peace, energy, or happiness that sometimes follow a good effort, a new choice, or a completed task. Let these feelings support you on hard days. Share your story with others. Every life is full of ups and downs. What seems hard for you today may be easy in the future. Your honesty about the process can help other people believe they can change too. Whenever you feel lost, remember that seeing your own hidden habits is the foundation of real discipline. Action always starts with noticing and understanding. The more gentle and honest you can be, the stronger and more lasting your self-discipline will become. As hidden behaviors lose their grip, you create space in your life for hope, for growth, for deeper goals, and for more freedom. Bit by bit, you become able to keep your promises to yourself. You follow through, even on days that are not easy or perfect. You will see that you can build new skills, become healthier, manage your time, and improve your relationships, because you have learned to act from understanding and patience, not force. Keep going, with steady steps and kind words. The power to change has always been inside you. Every day is a new chance to practice, to notice, and to grow strong, gentle discipline that will last your whole life.